What's the fourth C? The fourth C, of course, is cash flow. You need to make sure the property is cash flowing really well. And cash flow is not the rent minus the mortgage equals profit. And it's definitely not the rent minus the mortgage on today's cheap rates equals profit. Don't be fooled by people who show you the cash flow figures based on that. So we're planning for cash flow. We need to say, look, here's the rent. What's the mortgage? We don't look at the mortgage on today's bargain cheap rates. We said, you know what? The rates are going to go up over time. So let's look at what the banks are offering on a 5-year deal, because that's pretty confident the rates will stay below that for at least 5 years. Then let's add on another 0.5%. So they're offering 5 years under 4%, say 4.5%. That will cover us for at least 7-8 years of cash flow. Let's model on that. We'll probably pay £100 a month less on a mortgage in reality, but if we model on the higher figure, we know it cash flows, and we've potentially got the £100 as well on top. Then it's in our pocket, in it. But let's just plan for it. We need to allow for maintenance. We know from managing hundreds and many properties for many years, maintenance costs is £1,000 a year, which means it's about £80 a month that goes into maintenance. We need to put it in. We know insurance. Let's say £20 a month for insurance. It's probably a bit less, but let's plan for £20. Let's plan for letting agency fees. And once we budget for all those things, the money left each month, let's say it's a couple of £100. All those costs, that's then our profit. Then let's make sure that even if the property is empty for the 12th month of the year, if it's rented for 11 months, but it's empty for a whole month, which is not going to happen, but if it was, if there's enough profit in these £200 a month to pay for the rent in the 12th month, of course there is when there's £200 a month of profit, but it's only £50. If it was only £50 a month, it's not. So let's make sure the cash flow is great. By the way, in this particular product that I'm talking about, Cash Flow Builder, we make sure that the properties that we're buying have got the traditional sense of an 8% yield. That means compared to the purchase price, the whole year's worth of rent is at least 8%. So if the purchase price was £100,000, the rent would need to be £8,000 a year. £8,000 a year divided by 12 will give us £670 a month. So a £100,000 property, you would need to be getting £670 a month in rent. So we make sure the cash flow is extremely high. It's called Cash Flow Builder because it gives you good cash flow while you wait for the houses to go up in value for capital growth.